I'm just going to gently, you don't force it, pull this out.
Hey everybody, so
hey everybody.
today a big part of our video is going to be about Leon and his G button and his G button replacement, and we'll go over with you first her emergency kit and then why we're changing the emergency kit out, and we do that every single time we change this button. You'll get to see how she sets that up.
Yep. And
then you'll get to see, you know, a real medical procedure that we have to perform on Leon when we change his button out.
Yep. Okay, so I have this in Leon's diaper bag. It's just a random case. It's like unrelated to the G button. I just use it to store his G button stuff in his diaper bag. That way, in case we're like out somewhere and it falls out or he pulls it out, I have a replacement. You want to say hi? Here, look. Say hi, guys. Hi, guys. Yeah, that's yours. You can get your button changed, okay? He's like, oh, I don't know about that. So anyways, I just have the bare necessities in this little kit. If you watched my What's in My Son's diaper bag video, you already know about this kit. But if not, it has a button in it, a little pack of lubricant, a gauze pad, and some syringes, tape, and then, oh, sorry, Leon grabbed the camera, and then this little doohickey, which basically just helps insert the button. Don't know what it's called because I'm not a medical professional, but I call it a doohickey. Anyways, this is the oldest button. You always want to use the oldest button because, believe it or not, they do have expiration dates. So I always store the newest buttons like away, and I use the oldest ones first. And I always have the oldest button in his emergency kit because if we're out somewhere and we have to use it, you know, I want it to be the oldest one. Like, I don't know, I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense, John?
It does.
Okay, yeah, there you go. But, so we use this one to change his button out anytime, even if we're at home. It does not have to be sterile because it's your stomach. Now with his trach, when he had his trach, it did need to be very clean and sterile, but this doesn't. Obviously we washed our hands. John has on gloves. You know, when we actually change it, I'll probably put on some gloves too. So then once we use this, we'll take the next oldest one and we'll put it in his emergency kit. That way he has one in his emergency kit. What do you think about that?
He's like, it's time to change my button.
Yeah, this is your stuff. And it doesn't hurt him at all. He doesn't care. It's not painful or anything like that. It's more so of just knowing how to do it. And of course, you know, it's a little scary, like the first, his head. The first time that we changed it, you know, we were nervous, it was scary. But after you do it so many times, it's kind of just like changing an earring. Like, you don't even really think about it. So anyways, I'll let John show you guys what a new button kit looks like, because this is obviously not like out of the box or anything.
Okay, so now we have a new button box, and I've opened it to make sure everything was inside. This one expires November 1st, 2021, but it only lasts inside of him for about 3 months. Inside, you have your page, step-by-step directions, and about the gentleman that made the button.
I actually have one of these in his diaper bag because it has pictures on it, so it's like real easy for somebody that's never done it before. Like if my dad's babysitting him or something like that, he could just follow the guide. I mean, we've taught him, he knows how, but just as a good reference for somebody that's never seen a G button before, that's a really good book because it has the pictures.
And then if you can't speak or read English, there's 28 different languages on here with directions on how to change the button. Now, in the button package itself, you have your button, you have the thing that holds the button straight whenever you put it in to keep it from bending,
That's the little doohickey that I was talking about.
You have your medicine port for your mini 1 button, and this will take a normal syringe, and you can also put a medicine stopper in there.
Yeah, this one they call the Y port, and then they also have a bolus one, which I think is in here too. I can't really tell though.
No, this is just an extra syringe to feed, and in this syringe you can use to put water in the mini one, but you can also keep it and use it for medicine. And then it comes with lubricant, and I don't think this one comes with gloves, but I do think it comes with a brand new piece of gauze. I'll open it and we'll see.
Yeah, it doesn't come with gloves. We have to get gloves separately.
So yeah, it has gauze here. We have tape, because if you have to change it yourself, it's easy just to put a little piece of tape over it while you fill your syringe up with the water you need.
Yeah, or if like for some reason the balloon is busted and you don't have another one, you still need to have something in the stoma hole so you can put the button in there and just tape it and go to the ER. I like to prepare a work area, and I usually just use the box that the new button came in. So I put all the stuff that we're going to need to change his button out on our little work area. So we'll need that. And I like to use 2 syringes. You'll see why when we change it. A little doohickey. And I don't ever use these because these are great to like travel with. So I normally use the big one that we bought extra for at-home changes.
And that's your surgical lube?
Yeah, this is the sterile surgical lube. I don't use anything other than surgical lube. Like they say you can use Vaseline and stuff, but I don't know. I've never been told that that's okay to do by a doctor. We've always used the surgical lube. So then I just open up the new button kit, and everything that I put on my work area to change it with right now, I'll replace it in his emergency kit. So he already has lubricant and tape and his gauze pad, and I like to wrap his new button in his gauze pad just to like keep it safe. And then a syringe and the little doohickey thing, whatever it's called. Now something that I've always done, because I have gotten a few bad buttons over the years, like it'll inflate sideways or something and it'll just pop right out. So before I insert a button or before I put one in his emergency kit, I always check it first. I just fill it up with water and check the balloon to make sure that it's round and it's the way it's supposed to be and it's not leaking or anything like that, because I would hate to be out somewhere, need to change his button, and then change it with one that's bad. So then I would have to go to the ER. So I'm going to go get some water and show you guys how I do that. Okay, this is bottled water. I just put it in this cup because it's easier for me to get it out. But you definitely want to use bottle, sterile, filtered water, because regular sink water will deteriorate your button. And you want to make sure there's no air bubbles in your syringe. So normally I fill it up a little bit and just kind of like tap it to make sure there's no air bubbles in it. And then I'll squirt all the water back out. That way there's water in the tip, which is where you get air bubbles from. And then I'll fill it up to where it needs to be. And for Leon, he needs to be at 4 mLs. His button actually says on it that it takes 4 mLs of water. You can see right here on the balloon port that it says 4 mLs. So that's how you know how much water to put in your balloon, because every button's different. So you just take your little slip tip syringe and stick it in there. You can also use a lure lock syringe, which actually is nicer, but we only have the slip tips. And you have to, not with the lure lock, but just with the slip tips, you have to continuously put pressure on the button while you insert the water. If not, it'll just like slip out and you'll squirt water and you won't know how much is in there. So you have to hold it, and you want to slowly inflate it.
And that's the side with the blue end?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see it's a pretty even circle, and I'm squeezing it. There's no leakage. Everything seems pretty good with this. So this is a good button. this is what it should look like. So you just take the water back out, and I like to pull the syringe back a little farther than the 4 mLs to make sure I get all the water out. And then this button, since we know it's good, will go in his emergency kit. So now I just wrap it up, and I double check to make sure I have everything in there, and I don't. I'm missing a syringe, so I need another syringe. Okay, so I have my 2 syringes, lubricant, the little doohickey. I really wish I knew what it was called. I'm sorry, guys. The tape and the button itself. So this button kit is good, ready to go back in his diaper bag.
Now that we're talking to you guys about this, I just realized that that is not good.
Why?
It doesn't have any water in it.
Oh, I know, but I figure if we're out somewhere that we could get a bottle of water.
Oh, okay.
So it shouldn't be an issue.
Alright.
Because you want it to be like fresh, clean, sterile water. And I feel like if we had a bottle sitting in there for months, even a year at a time,
it'd stagnate.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like the freshest water. So.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I got air bubbles in this. So now we're going to change his actual button. Now for the fun part. Okay, so we got everything ready, and now we're ready to change it. So before we do anything, please keep in mind, guys, we are not medical professionals. We are not doctors. We are not nurses. We have not had any schooling for this. So this is not a how-to video. Do not do what we do with your child. This is just how we do it. Please talk to your doctors before you do anything, okay?
But our doctors did show us to do it this way.
Yeah, but I can't say that, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Okay, so Leon has not had anything to eat for a few hours, so his belly should be pretty empty. You can see his buttons kind of like leaning to the side because it's losing water, it's deflating, it needs changed. You can see how loose it is. So it definitely needs to be changed out. And it's kind of yellow in color, you can tell, compared to the new one. Do you see the big difference there?
And that's just 3 months.
Yeah. And you can see the writing is like wearing off of it and stuff. Okay, so this is why I like to have 2 syringes. One filled with water and one to extract the water out of this button. The very first step is to go ahead and prepare your second button. So this is where this thing comes in handy. See how flexible this part is?
Yep, just spinning everywhere.
Yeah, it would be really hard to get that in. So you put this inside of here. This is your feeding port. And it makes it a little bit stiffer. That way you have more control and being able to put it in. So the first thing I do is I put some lubricant all over this thing. Because you definitely want it to go in easily and quickly and smoothly. So I put lubricant all over it. And I also put a little bit around the edges of his belly because that seems to help too. Okay, so I have my gauze pad here. And you can see he's just laying here. Like, he does really, really good with this. Don't you, buddy? Here, you want to play with the tape? Here, baby. Okay, so the second step is to extract any water that's inside the balloon. Even if this thing is hanging all the way out almost, you still want to check to make sure that there's no water in it, because if you go to pull on this and there's water in it, it could really hurt him. Okay, so you just pull all the water out, and you can see the water is a little bit like discolored because he's had it in. I mean, we changed this water like 2 weeks ago. And you guys can tell, this is what I just took out of his button. It's not filled all the way up to 4. So his button was definitely losing water. Okay, so an important thing to do is to always keep your hand over this because he could easily reach down and grab it and pull it out. Okay, so I'm just going to gently, you don't force it, pull this out. And you can see what it looks like. Do you see how black and gross that is?
Yeah, it's gross.
It definitely needed to be changed. Okay, So I normally just clean this off a little bit, like that. Okay. And then you take the new button and you put it inside of the hole. You do not force it. Oh, see? You just put the tiniest bit of pressure. You basically just rest your finger on it and it'll go in. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than that. It depends on his stomach muscles, if he's like breathing in or out. So then you take this out and you want to keep your hand over it so it doesn't fall out. And then the next step is that you put the 4 mLs of water in it. Now it's important to press down on this button, and you want to press kind of hard. You're not going to hurt him, I swear. You want to press down before you inflate the balloon, and that just guarantees that the balloon is inflating inside of his stomach and not like in his
stomach.
Yeah, well, yeah, the lining of his stomach. So then you just want to kind of like tug on it a little bit, give it a little bit of a pull, wipe everything off, make sure that it's in there. Now, the best way to check it is to hook up a feeding tube right here, an empty one, and put it below the G button and see if stomach fluid comes out, and if it does, the placement is correct. Okay, and you can see the granulated tissue, skin build up a little bit. I mean, that's normal. His actually doesn't look bad. Some kids look better, but this is what his looks like. But just to help that, we always put one of these little pads around there, and it just velcros right around. And what it does is it helps absorb any stomach fluids or anything that might ooze out, and that really helps to stop the granulated tissue skin buildup. And plus it looks super cute. Okay, and that's it. That's how we change his feeding tube. Right, Leon? Yeah, you're all done, buddy. What'd you think? Huh? That wasn't hard, was it? He doesn't even care, guys. Say, I don't care. No big deal. Yeah, you did so good. You did so good. You want to tell him hi? Hi, guys. Alright, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that. I know it wasn't much of like a vlog type video, but I thought it was really interesting and you guys would like it, so I hope that you did. Tomorrow we'll definitely do vlogs again, don't worry. But thank you so much for watching.
Please like and subscribe.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
In our next video.
Bye.